Hi, it's Kylie Coo. Welcome to my studio. So, if this is your first time here, welcome. I hope you enjoy what I bring you today. And if you've been here before, welcome back. It's so good to see you again. So, first time that I've sat actually filming for a long time now. If you've been here before, you will probably know that a few weeks ago, I think 7 weeks ago today, this is Saturday, 20th July. Anyway, 7 weeks ago, I had a fall and I broke my left wrist. So it was only a few days ago I got the stookie off, the plaster cast. It was from about here up to about here, and it's good to have it off. My hand is still very stiff. I've not got complete movement. I'm getting there. I'm doing my exercises every day, but yeah, I've got a bit of a way to go yet. I still can't drive, which is a pain, but I'm getting there. I'm doing okay. So I really wanted to do this as a bit of a kind of studio vlog to catch up on a few things. One thing being my arm. The other thing I want to bring you is I did get the chance to meet a lovely fellow YouTuber recently, and I'll say a bit more about that in a minute or two. And I've got a small haul and to show you. It's not a lot, but just a couple of things, and yeah, just to bring you generally up to speed on where we are. I've got my Canson sketchbook here. I've not worked in it for a while, and I thought I would just sit and do a bit of art, doodling type, whatever, just as it comes today, just while I'm sitting talking. And I'll probably stop now and again, and then I will insert other bits of footage as we go along. So let's get started. And as usual, you might well hear my bird friends in the background. This I've had sitting on my work table for ages. I was going to use it on the gel plate, but it's given me a wee bit of inspiration today. I don't know how well you can see these little bits coming off. You know, it's really dried out. So I might just take that as a bit of inspiration, and I'm not going to try to replicate anything exactly. I've got here a Dale Rowney FW acrylic ink in raw sienna. I'm going to give it a good shake because I can see it's kind of sitting a little bit in the bottom, and I'm really just going to use this to kind of sketch with. Then I might come in with some paints. We'll just see how it goes. Right, now this is where it gets difficult because I can't grip fully, and if this hasn't been opened for a while, I can't turn with that. I'm getting there. I've got specific exercises to do. I can't lift my wrist beyond that yet. I can do this, but I can't grip things. So I'm trying, as well as doing the exercises, I'm literally just trying to use this hand for normal, everyday things. I can lift my coffee with this hand though. So yeah, catching up on things. I'm just going to start here. I'm not doing anything in particular. As I say, this might be a little bit of inspiration, but I'm just going to take it as it comes. So those of you that have been here before will know well that I was doing a weekly page, a concertina journal. I've been trying to continue some work on that, but you know, really didn't get many pages finished, but I just wanted to keep on with it. So I have been just kind of trying to do little bits and pieces, and I'm going to finish those pages at some point. For those of you that were following along, I'm sorry, you know, obviously I've just not been able to film anything. I couldn't even, I'd taken my camera and my setup down just before I actually had to fall. In fact, it must have been that day. And I was just doing some tidying around the studio. I needed some space. took it down, and I've really just not been able to set it up since then. So that's kind of where I'd got to with that, and just literally couldn't film. I also didn't feel like filming, to be perfectly honest. It was just like kind of almost the last thing on my mind. But, you know, I did kind of try and keep going with bits and pieces of art as best as possible. I found it difficult with one hand, especially when I was working on paper. Or this book's not so bad, but a small book kept moving when I was doing things. But, you know, it is what it is, and I'm getting there. But I've been keeping up with that as best as possible. But a few things still to kind of finish off. So I'm going to try and get that up to date. I'm just making them kind of plain pages. There's no fancy little journals added in or anything like that. So if you were doing it along with me, then, you know, just bring your pages up to date, and then I don't know whether it'll be next week or the week after, maybe I'll try and get back to doing videos like that. I think I'm just going to keep this to this side of the page, because sorry, got a little bit lost there. I'm just going to keep it to this side and see where I can get to today with this. I just thought this would make a good base colour, and I can come in with paint over it once it dries. Not trying to do anything in particular, just get the feeling of something nature-like, something in the garden perhaps. It's quite fun painting with ink like this, because although you can control it a little, you know, if you press it just that little bit too hard, the ink comes scooting out, and, you know, you get things you didn't expect. Including big blobs, but that's okay. I feel like it needs a bit more in those spaces. Going for maximum today rather than this will probably take ages to dry, but never mind. Liking that. I'm tempted to give it a little scoosh. That could be disastrous, but let's just try a little bit. Yes, I think that works. Right. Got a couple of blobs, but that's okay. I think what I'll do now is I will attempt to dry this. I'll probably move it a bit further. I'll attempt to dry it, find my heat tool, and meantime I'm going to insert some footage of the day I went to meet the lovely Lisa from Making It with Minglet. I travelled through to Glasgow, got a train into Edinburgh, then travelled to Glasgow by train. And yeah, I've only got a tiny bit of footage. I'm not a great vlogger. I meant to kind of do all this fancy vlog type thing, and I basically forgot. I think I was so excited about meeting Lisa that I forgot most of it, but I'll show you anyway the footage that I do have.
I am so glad to be in Scotland. You'll never guess who I'm going to get to meet. The one and only Kylie Koo. And we're going to have tea together. I'm so excited. I'm like a kid at Christmas.
So it's not dry yet. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this page over. It will smoosh it, but that's fine. But it might just give me 2 pages. It will absorb a little bit. So although I wasn't going to do 2 pages, we'll see where it gets us. Oh yeah, it's blobbed it. It's okay. That's okay, I can work with that. Give it another bit of a dry. It's not fully dry yet, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to move it to the side for a minute, and I am going to show you some things that Lisa gave me. So just a moment. So this was like hand-delivered Happy Meal, all the way from the USA to Scotland. The first thing I'm going to show actually came from Sharon from the channel Texture Junkies, and I'm going to link her channel below. So thank you so much, Sharon. And actually tonight, which obviously tonight's Saturday and this isn't going up to Sunday, tonight my time, I'm going to go on to Sharon's live stream. Lisa often kind of co-hosts that with her. I'm going to go onto her live stream and just chat with people, not just in the chat box, but actually be there and chatting. I can't film it, unfortunately, because my internet is not strong enough, don't have a good enough connection. But anyway, this came from Sharon, and it's this beautiful wallpaper. She says it's 1960s wallpaper, and yeah, I think that would be great for doing some monoprinting, although I love it as is. It's got a kind of sheen to it. I think I'd quite happily have that in a room as it is. So a nice little note from her. We've done some collaborations together along with Peg from the channel Two Old Crows. I'll link all of that below. And here are some other things she included. So, sorry, I'm kind of struggling a little bit just to open things up, but there we go. This wonderful little book. This Life is a Gift. I won't do it in too much detail, but you know, there's these little pockets here. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. That's so nice. Without the storms and rain, life would cease to be. This is just so lovely. I love it. The only thing that can limit you is believing that you are limited. Become limitless. Some lovely, motivating thoughts in there. Now Sharon actually makes stamps and stencils, or designs them, and those are sold through PM Artist Studio. I'll link them as well, and I'm hoping to get some of hers soon. Tiptoe through the tulips. Look at the gorgeous colours in the background here. She uses a lot of, and I'm not saying this is it, she uses a lot of the it'll come to me later and I'll put it on screen, the inks, alcohol inks, and uses them to such good effect. And she always seems to have such great images. So thank you, Sharon. These are wonderful, and that was such a lovely surprise, that coming all the way from you via Lisa. And from Lisa, first of is this magnificent folder, again made from a wallpaper. Beautiful button on it, love that. Beautifully made, and there's just so much in here. So we have napkins. Grow in your own light. Wow. I don't know what that's made with, if it's a crayon, I think, of some description, done in squares. I love the kind of, like a dove. It's so effective on brown paper. Butterflies, lovely. This is very autumn-like with the pumpkins. Bunnies, my absolute favourite. Ah, such a cute duck. Lots of different napkins here. Gorgeous papers. These are just wonderful. And there's more. Let me move these to the side. This lovely cloth. It's just so sweet. Just makes me smile. This little folder, more napkins, labels, printed tissue, an envelope. I love all these little things tucked into other little things. Ah, that's gorgeous. It's like a little treasure trove, little heart. I don't know if there's something in this. Let me see. Ah, that's a nice little pocket. So many wonderful goodies. Then she included these images. Lovely as well. And after we'd had afternoon tea, we stopped in what we would call a charity shop. I think you might call it a thrift store. She came across this old annual, I can't remember what year it was from, 60 something I think. And she very kindly pulled some pages out. And, Captive Princess, the thrilling story of Clementina, mother of Bonnie Prince Charlie. I need to read all that. Won't get the full story, but never mind. And all these kind of cartoon type things. Oh, and one other thing she brought me. Mrs. Haynes, or Mrs. Haynes's Moravian cookies, and these are amazing. I've been limiting myself to them. They are ginger crisps, ginger cookies. They are thin, crispy. Can you hear that? They're delicious. I always need to have 2 at a time. I do limit myself, but I have 2 at a time. They are so tasty. So I'm going to have my other one with some coffee, and then we'll get back to doing a bit on the painting. Okay, so this has gone a little bit wilder than I intended, but we're not going to worry about that. So I've just got an old plastic lid here. I'm going to pull out some colours. I've got dark blue. I don't think there's much left in that. What's this? Can't even see the colour. Cerulean blue it could be. I've got a deep turquoise, lime yellow, medium yellow, pale olive, medium green, white. I might pull a few more out. I'm just going to put little dabs onto here and we'll get started. Right, I feel like I'm missing a red in my palette, but I can come back in and add that if needs be. I'll probably work away on this for a little while. I'll stop and take another break and maybe show you the mini haul. It is very small, but I'll probably now just put some of this on at double speed and to music. So let's see where it takes us. So, still a bit to do. I'm going to let it dry a few minutes, and while I do that, I will show you the little haul that I got. Most of it I got the day I was in Glasgow, because I went to the Cass Art shop. So let me move this out the way and it'll just be a second. Actually, even less than I thought. So I bought some more. I love working with caddy paper. This is 20 sheets, 320 GSM. It cost £18.50, which sounds a lot, but it is quite an expensive paper. But I think, what size is it? Is that 12 by 12? Yeah, just about 11.5 inches by, well, it's square, 11.5 by 11.5. Where are my centimetres? Why aren't I seeing the centimetres? It'll be about, not quite, I'm going to measure it because I'll get myself mixed up here. I want to say it'll be about 25 by 25 centimetres. It's close to 30 by 30 centimetres and just short of 12 by 12. So I got those. I love to work on caddy paper. This one has a really nice texture to it. I bought some micron pens. It's a 3-pack, a 01, a 05 and a brush. I've had these before, like them a lot, although I've not got many of them recently. And I bought a few pencils. Well, 5 in total. So I bought some of the Luminance, Caran d'Ache Luminance, and I got that in, oh, does it have the colours on them? Or is it just the numbers? Natural Russet, Castle Earth, and could be Herculeum Red. I need to try and swatch these. And then I also got a couple of the Polychromos, Dark Sepia and Payne's Grey. Since then, I was away for a few days. I only took that little tin set of paints I showed you before. Didn't take any pens, so when I was in the supermarket, I saw this pack of Sharpies, gold, silver and bronze, so I bought them. Really didn't need Sharpies, but I picked them up anyway. Right, so you'd see that I brought out my ink tens. I really just wanted the red out the ink tens. I couldn't be bothered going looking out a red paint. Just going to do a bit more on this painting. I don't know if I'm going to get it done, finished today or not. If not, I'll include it in another video, but let's see where we get to. I just don't know how long this is. So these are looking a bit like sunflowers. This was just from my, I can't even remember the name of it. I think my brain's gone. But I really just wanted that as my inspiration to get started. Some leafy plants in here, some nondescript things just to fill in spaces, a bit of blue sky. And what now? I almost fancy doing a little bit more detail. I might bring out, oh, everything's falling. These were the pens I got before, the paint markers from the Works, a bit like Posca's. I'm still testing these out, so I'll use this paint on other things. I'm not going to do this page. But let's come in and do a bit of detail on these and just see where that takes us to. Right, what do I want? What do I want? I would really liked a purple for that, but decisions. Or will we go wild and do pink? Right, again, I'll probably put this on at speed and with some music. So I think that's it for today. This was just a kind of sketch, really just to have something to do while I chatted to you. I'm okay with where it's at. It's a sketch. I think the white and then just added to it. I hadn't put red on my palette, and rather than digging out, I just took some from there. It's not in there a lot. Green pen wouldn't work very well. I've got it going a bit more, but I'll keep working on that. So yeah, it is what it is. It's just a kind of stylised floral thing. This inspiration I showed you at the beginning, not trying to make it look the same, quite loose, just trying to be loose and not be too concerned about, you know, what I was actually going to produce at the end of it. Might come back and do something on there, might not, but it's good to be back. I do hope to get back into the way of making weekly videos. At some point I'll get back to do my concertina journal. Thank you again to Lisa and Sharon for the lovely Happy Mail gifts, and thank you to Lisa for delivering it in person. And yeah, do catch their channels, and yeah, hope to see you again soon. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Been good to be back. As always, thanks ever so much for watching. I can just about do my heart. Do take care, everybody. Bye for now.